See, that'll look cool if it like cuts like it's just a blank empty area and then you see me flying in and then I'm gonna cut to right here. What's up everybody? It's Devlog 2 for To the Tavern. So what I worked on the last week is the deck building component. I wanted to try to get the deck building of the ale to work. I ran into a couple problems, but I think I got it pretty much figured out. I'm really excited to show you the progress on it. And just keep in mind, I do want it to be a little bit more simplified because I have other mechanics that are going to be like synergizing with the ale, and I didn't want to make it overly complicated. Now, if it isn't fun and boring, I will complicate it. So let's dive right into my progress. First, I'll show you kind of my concept behind what I wanted the game to actually, how it worked, and then I'll show you the current progress. So what we have is our deck, and we have our hand and our discard. And essentially, we can scratch all that because you're never going to see it. But we're going to have this ale pool, and you can see, like, oh, we have 2 HP plus 2 strength. And then you have this guy over here that's like, hey, what do you want? What kind of cards do you want? And we're like, oh, do we want coffee? Do we want cinnamon? Do we want fruit? Red fruit specifically. And we're like, oh, we choose I want coffee. Then it goes to the discard. Then the discard gets shuffled in the deck. Then we get a hand. And then the ale pool changes. And we're like, hey, we have +1 faith. Hey. So yeah, that's pretty much it. First thing I did was create this card template, and I have all these different attributes, so ingredients, effects, the card type, the target, the modifier, the amount. Essentially, with this template now, whenever I want to create a new card, it's really easy. I'm just going to take the currently existing card template and I can just duplicate it. Once I duplicate it, then I can create whatever kind of card that we want. I'm just going to put it over here in the cards folder. We can create banana, and we can say banana is going to be for lightning, and for self add 1 or 2, and then we'll just say +2 lightning. And then essentially, eventually, I want these cards to just be loaded up in this all cards thing. Right now, we have to just create this really quick. And then what will happen is the merchant will come. It will read all of the cards that we have. It will then randomly select so many cards that we have to purchase from. Right now, I don't have that in, so we're just going to create a new button for right now that allows us to add a bunch of new cards. So I'll create this banana button, and I'll just, set up it's pressed to make sure a new card gets added. All of this text will eventually be generated based on the random selection of cards. But now that we can start the game, we have the banana button there, and we will be able to add a bunch of cards. Now you'll see down at the bottom, that is where it tells what our deck and our hand is, and our discard, our current stuff. So we start off with 10 basic cards at the beginning, and you can see each basic card is +1 health, so it does +3 health in the top left. Now if we add a bunch of different other cards and we draw a new hand, we can see a bunch of different cards. We're going to change the hand size to 5, and I'm going to just create a variable really quick so that I can change this on the fly in the future. So now, since we have 5 cards, we can add a bunch of random cards into it, and we're going to see how when we draw new cards, they're going to get shuffled up, and we're going to automatically generate all of the effects in the top left-hand corner, depending on the types of cards that we make. We also have multiplier cards, so like nutmeg is a ×2 faith, vanilla is +1 faith, so if we have a bunch of those, they could multiply on top of themselves. And I'll show that right now. Just buy a bunch of vanilla and nutmeg and increase our hand size to 5. Because ideally, you're going to be able to upgrade your hand size and you're going to have bigger hand sizes in the future. This is pretty much how I did it. I created an ale pool. We take all the multiplier cards and we put them in a separate array first. We add all of the add cards to our ale pool. And then we run through the multipliers and we multiply at the end. Therefore, like, we're not multiplying by 0 ever. Then once we take all that text and we add it to the ale pool UI text, and that is what allows us to see what are the effects from the ale pool. And it only grabs the ones that are not 0. So if a dexterity plus is 0, we're not going to see that. We're only going to see the things that are additional. So we can just show off a couple more of these. And that is pretty much it. So yeah, that's it. That is the current progress for the deck builder. hopefully you'll be able to see more progress soon. And I do want to get the deck building done. I want to be able to actually have the randomization done. Once that's done, I'm going to implement it into what I currently have into the tavern. And I want to get that tutorial fixed because the tutorial is broken from a long time ago. And then once I have that, I am going to upload it. So hopefully we'll be seeing in a couple weeks, we'll have a playable version with the deck building mechanics. They're not going to be completely done, but they should be better, at least. Partially done. I won't have any elemental stuff in there, but all of the statistics-wise should be done in a couple weeks. So yeah, thanks so much. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you next time.